Hello from Seoul. Are you sick and tired of greasy takeout fried rice or expensive delivery fees? Then it's time to say goodbye to takeout and deliveries and hello to the homemade. What? You can't trust the taste of a homemade one? Don't worry about it. As always, with me, you can make it better. Today, we're gonna be making beef fried rice. Over the past years, I've been sharing a lot of fried rice recipes, and I'm so excited to finally introduce this bad boy. It's so delicious, so I wanted to keep it all to myself, but here we are. I promise. This is gonna be one of the best fried rice that you ever had. For this, you will need some rice, beef, eggs, onion, green onions, garlic, and some frozen vegetables. That's it. Is there anything you don't have in your kitchen? Yeah, if it's been a while since you went grocery shopping, you might not have one or two items, but is there anything hard to find? No, right? So don't be overwhelmed and give this a try. If you make it for your family or friends, trust me, this will make you a superstar. Alright, let's talk about the rice first. For this recipe, I've already prepared day-old rice, which is about 4 cups. But even if you don't have any leftover rice, you don't have to worry about it. You can just use freshly cooked rice. But just remember this one thing. Cook your rice with less water than usual and cool down a little bit so that any excess steam can evaporate. Trust me, these little tips will get you the nice, fluffy, just perfect fried rice texture at the end. Next, cut 250 grams of beef into small bite-sized pieces. I've got chuck steak here, but you could also use any cut you have. Obviously, if you use an expensive cut, which contains loads of marblings or the meat, it'll be more tender and flavorful. But since we're gonna marinate it anyhow, you don't have to worry about it. Like I always say, just use what you have. Everything will be fantastic. Now, let's marinate our beef. Add 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of Chinese Shaoxing wine, half a tablespoon of cornstarch, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, a quarter teaspoon of white pepper, 1 tablespoon of neutral oil, and give it a good massage. Of course, you could just season with salt and pepper. No problem at all. But if you're looking for the beef fried rice that will change your life, please follow my lead. You won't regret it. This time, let's prep the vegetables. First, finely dice half an onion. Normally, I don't recommend using onions for fried rice because they contain a lot of moisture and they can make our fried rice get soggy and mushy. But onions and beef, they go so well together. So let's cook out some of the moisture and make it really delicious. Next, thinly slice 3 or 4 green onions. The whites are gonna be stir-fried and infuse our oil, and the greens are gonna be our beautiful garnish. So as always, please keep them separately, like this. Once that's done, finely chop 3 cloves of garlic. Couldn't be any easier, right? This time, let's cook our frozen vegetables. I've got half a cup of frozen peas and half a cup of frozen carrots here. And just like the onion, if we just throw them into a pan, they will release a lot of water. So let's quickly blanch them for about 2 minutes and let them drain well. With this simple technique, you won't have to worry about soggy vegetables ruining your fried rice. What? You wanna know this kind of tip more and more? I'm so glad you brought that up because everything you need is in this one book. Trust me, with this one book, you can cook more than 100 Korean dishes like a pro. So don't forget to check it out. The link is in the description. Now crack 4 eggs into a small container, add a pinch of salt and beat them up really well. This recipe makes 4 servings, so 1 egg for 1 serving sounds like a perfect plan, right? But if you want it to be a more high-protein diet, feel free to add more eggs here. Actually, I want to do that too, but let me stop here because I have only 1 left in the fridge. Alright, before we start cooking, let's make the sauce. In a small container, add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of Chinese Shaoxing wine, half a teaspoon of sugar, half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder, a quarter teaspoon of white pepper, a pinch of MSG, totally optional, and give it a good mix. Here, if you don't have Shaoxing wine and plan to use mirin instead, just omit the sugar. By the way, we have all the instructions and a list of ingredients on our blog at renandclaire.com, so please visit here if you need a written recipe. Alright, we're set. Let's get cooking. In a large wok, add 2 tablespoons of oil and heat it over high heat. What? You don't have a wok? That's okay. You can't just use a frying pan. You can still get a good result with a regular pan. So just use what you have. Everything will be fantastic. Once it gets nice and hot, pour in the eggs and cook for about 30 seconds. When the eggs are 70% cooked, remove it from the wok and set that aside. Now, in the same wok, over high heat, add 2 tablespoons of oil. Once it's heated, add the marinated beef, spread them out and cook for about 2 minutes or until the beef is nicely seared on the outside. The key to this recipe is how well you sear the beef, because it's gonna add a ton of flavor to the dish. Once the beef is beautifully cooked, remove them from the wok and set them aside. Now, into this beautiful fat, throw in your onions, white parts of the green onions, garlic, and saute those for about 2 to 3 minutes. So simple, right? Once your kitchen is filled with the aroma, add 4 cups of cooked rice and give it a good mix for about 2 minutes. Make sure you break down the rice and try to coat every single grain with this beautiful aromatic oil. Trust me, this will make your dish so much better at the end. Now add in your cooked carrots and peas. And then pour the sauce around the edges and give it about 20 or 30 seconds to caramelize. What? You worry about your sauce being burnt? Don't worry about it. This is gonna add a nice smoky umami flavor, so please wait for a while and stir fry all together. After about 2 minutes or when the rice is completely coated, add your eggs and beef back into the wok. And then break the eggs into little pieces and toast them together for about a minute or 2. Alright, we're almost there. Let's take a spoon and give it a quick taste and add some salt to taste. Once it tastes perfect to you, turn the heat off and add your green onions, some toasted sesame seeds, and 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. Now all we have left is just give it a final mix. That's it. Unbelievably simple, right? Alright, let's put some fried rice on a serving plate. You wanna know how it tastes? Alright, let's call our taste tester.
Claire?
냄새 맡으니까 갑자기 막 배고픔이 밀려온다 더. Wow, my stomach is growling. I'm super hungry. I wish you couldn't hear it. Let's give it a try. 엄청난 양이네. 보기만 해도 만족스러운 양이에요. 한번 그릇에다 1인분 덜어서 먹어볼까? 소고기로 한다고 해가지고 너무 시꺼멓게 나오는 거 아닌가 약간 걱정했었는데 역시나 알록달록한 야채들을 같이 넣어주니까 전혀 그런 느낌 없이 여전히 예쁘고 맛있어 보인다. 소고기도 많이 넣어줘야지. 명색이 beef fried rice니까. 너무 많이 들었나? 이게 사실 국그릇인데. Cheers! 맛있다. 사실 지금 입에 입병이 있어가지고 먹기가 조금 힘든데 그래도 여전히 맛있다라는 건 알겠어. 일단 첫 번째, 밥의 시즌이 너무 완벽하게 너무 맛있어. 그냥 먹자마자 그 짭조름한 맛이 입맛을 그냥 막 끌어올려주고, 그리고 소고기도 큼직큼직하게 썰었음에도 불구하고 여전히 부드럽고 촉촉하고 맛있어. 입병이 나가지고 만약 질겨 썼었으면 아마 먹는 동안 눈물을 흘렸었을 거거든? 근데 전혀 그렇지 않고 맛있네. 예전에 자기가 다른 볶음밥을 해줬었을 때는 뭔가 다른 음식이랑 같이 곁들여 먹어야 될 것 같은 그런 느낌이 들었는데 이거는 소고기로 만들어서 그런가 그냥 이 자체로만 먹어도 완벽한 그런 부족함이 전혀 느껴지지 않는 그런 식단의 느낌이 나는 것 같아. 그냥 이거 자체만 먹어도 될 것 같아. 소고기가 든든해서 그런가? 지금 이게 4인분인데 만약 이 레시피 자체가 자기 혼자 사는데 너무 많다 그냥 해놓고 밀프를 용기에 싹싹싹 넣은 다음에 한 며칠 동안 먹던가 정 안 되면 또 냉동실에 딱 얼렸다가 나중에 그냥 전자레인지에 데펴서 먹으면 되잖아. 괜찮네. Highly recommended for your meal prep. You won't regret it.
Today, I showed you how to make beef fried rice. How was it? It's incredibly simple and easy, right? But you know what? You can even make it simpler by using some ground beef or even leftover steak. So depending on your fridge situation, feel free to play around with it. Trust me, not only will they be delicious, but that will also be a fun experience. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.